this link is a critical importance to, reduce the waste of agricultural raw materials, improve the value of agriculture produce by increasing the shell life, okay, as well as by, giving nutrition value to the food products, okay. So there must be an adequate focus on the this sector, which can also increase the food security and the food inflation problems in India, okay. So India is already a leading exporter of several food products to ensure that, this sector gets the stimulus it deserves, that is why the Ministry of Food Processing Industry is implementing a number of, schemes for infrastructure development, technology upgradation, modernization, human resources development, and then there's a lot of research and development in the food processing sector, okay. So let us now see some very important things which the Ministry of Food Processing Industry defines. So the Ministry of Food Processing Industry defines food processing should also include, so let me write to include under food processing industries. So what are the items? The first one he wants to include is the manufacturing processes, and the second one is other value added processes, okay. Now let me explain you about manufacturing processes. Now if any raw product of agriculture, animal husbandry or fisheries is transformed through a process which is involving employees, power machines or money in such a way that its, original physical properties undergo a change, and if this transformed product is edible, it is useful, it is used, and it has a commercial value, then it comes within the domain of food processing industry. So got my point? And what about the other value added processes? Now if there is a significant value addition, which is like, increasing the shell life and which is ready for consumption, etc., so such produce also comes under the food processing, okay, even if it does not undergo any manufacturing process, okay. Now as I said also, that if you see the contribution or to GDP, of agriculture sector and both food processing sector, they are growing at the same rate, so that the contribution is equal, okay. And it is, what is the reason behind this? Because it is increased, there is an increased agriculture raw material, supply is there, and the labor is also cheap. So simultaneously there is growth in agriculture sector and also in the agro based food processing industry, okay. So food processing industry is one of the major employment intensive, and if you can see also, let me mention you that 12.13% of the employment, okay, was generated in 2011 and 12, okay. Now I'll give you some more statistics. Now according to the latest annual survey of industries, it's also called as ASI, for 2011 and 12, the total number of persons engaged in registered food processing sector is 17.77 lakhs. Okay. Now, if you see also during the last 5 years ending from 2011 and 12, employment in registered food processing industry has increased an annual, average growth rate of 3.79%. Okay. And unregistered, now the ones which are not registered, there also we have seen a great, upgrowth. So that is unregistered food processing sectors, they support employment to almost 47.9 lakh workers. Okay, as per the national survey was taken place. Okay, which was done in the 67th round in 2010 and 11. So 47.9 lakhs workers support employment. Which sector does support employment? The unregistered food processing industry. Okay, now let us talk about the export performance. Okay, so let me just clear this. Yes, so we will see about the export performance of the food processing sector. So all agriculture produce when exported undergo an element of processing. So hence all edible agricultural commodities exported are included in the export data. Okay, so the value of exports in this sector has been showing an increasing trend with, so let's see the increasing trend. Yes, showing increasing trend with annual average growth rate, that is called as AAGR, of 20.53% for 5 years ending in 2013 and 14. Okay, now let us see the order also. Now if you see the value of exports during 2013 and 14 to order of US. So we had given this the order of US. So US had taken a lot of agro based products from us. It was 37.79 billion. Okay, so that is the total exports to 312. So US had almost taken 1/4 of its exports. So how much does US export? So total exports US is 312 billion. Okay, so how much was India's food processing industry exports? Let us see. So that is, food processing industry contributed 12.1% of India's total exports. Okay, so that is very, very important. Okay, so let us see something like, as I said also, India has been ranked. So India ranked 12th in the world in exports of food and food products in 2015. Okay, now the major industries which are constituting the food processing sector are grain milling, then we have is sugar, edible oils, beverages, fruits and vegetable processing and dairy products. Okay, now if you talk about the contribution of the food processing sector is to the gross value addition. So that is the gross value addition. So that is also called as GVA In 2014, if you see, it amounts to almost USD, that is 22 billion. Yes. Okay. And yes, also if you see, there is a great growth of gross value, okay, addition. And the share of food processing manufacturing unit, let me keep on giving you some more information. So let me write down here. The share of food processing sector in gross value addition of manufacturing sector was 8.6% in 2014 and 15. Okay. Now, if you talk about investment also, let's see how much was invested. So, investment in fixed capital, okay, in registered food processing sector, okay, had a growth from $24.5 billion in 2012-13 to USD 25.85 billion in 2013 and 14. Okay, so yes, the growth rate has increase of investment also. So growth rate of 6% increase. Okay, now let us talk about some more points also. Now let us see how many registered food processing units are there. So the number of registered food processing units have also increased, okay, from 37,175 in 2012 and 13 to 37,445 in 2013 and 14. Okay, so the share of food processing sector is also was, as I said, 8.6% in 2014 and 15. And food processing industry is one of the major employment intensive segments, which is contributing 11.69% of employment. So many people are employing under the food processing industry, generated in all registered factory sector in 2013 and 14. Obviously, so this has also increased. Okay, so now what are the factors which are contributing to the growth of the processing sector? So the first one, as I said, is the liberalization policies and the growth of the organized retail, which has made the Indian market more attractive for the global players. So all are getting attracted because of this retail stuff, with a large agriculture resource base. So we have a large agriculture resource base also, abundant livestock, yes, and the cost competitiveness is pretty less. India is now fast emerging as a sourcing hub of processed foods. Okay, now even the rising income levels, affluence, and growing middle class, so middle class is increasing in India, and 1/3 of the population will be living in urban areas. That is what is being predicted by 2020. Now, increased desire for branded foods as well as increased spending power. So there is a large distinct consumer segments, who support the customized offerings and new categories. They want variety. Okay, so that is also one boost for the food processing industry. And consumption in India, let's talk about consumption. So consumption in India is driven towards packaged and ready to eat food. So everybody wants packaged foods and ready to eat foods. Okay, And yes, exports of food items have been, rising steadily. So the main export, where do we mainly export the food processing industries export? So the destinations are Middle East, okay, and South East Asia. Okay, so this is basically, and yes, let us also talk about FDI. So let us see about how much FDI is contributing in this sector. So let's talk about FDI policy. So here 100% FDI is permitted under the automatic route in the food processing industry. Okay, and now 100% FDI is allowed through only government approval. So if you remember the new FDI policy, government approval route for trading, okay, including e-commerce in respect of food products manufactured or produced in India. So this is the FDI policy also. Now, what are the schemes related to food processing industries? The first scheme is Pradhan Mantri Kisan Sampada Yojana. Okay, so these are the schemes. Then we have mega food parks. Okay, I'll explain to you one by one. So just let me tell you. So mega food parks are also there. Then there is also integration. So integrated cold chains and value addition infrastructure. Okay, so this is also very, very important. So yes, and apart from that, there are some schemes for creation and expansion of food processing and processing facilities. Okay, so this is very, very important. And yes, apart from that, we also have agro processing clusters. Okay, so that is also very important because agro processes is there. And there is also a scheme for creation of backward and forward linkages. Okay, so there are plenty of schemes. Okay, and yes, there is also a program on food safety and quality assurance infrastructure. So India is also okay. And yes, there is a new program called as National Mission on Food Processing. So this is actually, it's done under the Ministry of Food Processing Industry, which is implemented in a new centrally sponsored scheme, that is CSS. And the National Mission on Food Processing was first started on 1st April 2012. Okay, so here this, it visualizes that, this, the major thing is to see that there are good food processors, there is great technology transfer, skill development and all that. Coming to the first scheme, as I said, we will talk about the first scheme, as I said, was Pradhan Mantri Yojana. So I was talking about that, as I said, because there are many schemes which government has launched also. Okay, so Pradhan Mantri Kisan Sampada Yojana is a comprehensive package which will result in creation of modern infrastructure with efficient supply chain management from the farm gate to the retail outlet. And apart from that, there is mega food parks, which is a scheme where, where there's a linkage of agriculture production to the market by bringing together farmers, processors and retailers so as to ensure maximizing value addition, then minimizing wastage, increasing the farmer's income and creating employment opportunities, particularly in the rural sector. So this mega food park is a scheme is based on the cluster approach. So in one area, particularly area, they try to gather all the farmers. Okay, so this is basically right now the centers are 30 to 35 fully developed plots for entrepreneurs to set up their own food processing units. Okay, so this is very important. Now the the mega food park project is implemented by a special purpose vehicle. Okay, so this is very important. It is implemented by a special purpose vehicle called as SPV. Okay, so now mostly there are 9 mega food parks, namely in Patanjali Food, Herbal Park, Haridwar, Srini Food Park, Chittur, Northeast Mega Food Park, then we have Nalbari, then we have International Mega Food Park, then we have Fazilka, then we have Integrated Food Park, we have Tumkur, Jharkhand Mega Food Park, Ranchi, Indus Mega Food Park, Khargaon, Jangipur, Bengal Mega Food Park, then we have Mushidabad and MITS or MITS Mega Food Park Private Limited, and moreover we also have Raya Gada are functional. So these are the major food parks which are functional. Now integrated cold chain. So the objective of cold chains and value addition infrastructure is to provide integration between the cold chain and preservation infrastructure facilities. Okay, so that the farm gate to the consumer the products are absolutely fresh. Now the integrated cold chain project, is set up by partnership or by proprietorship firms, companies, corporations, cooperatives, self-help groups, that is called as SHGs, farmer producer organizations, that is FPOS, NGOs, central or state public sector units. Okay, so these all can create an integrated cold chains which is also there. So these are the various sectors where you can see the cold chain industries. Okay, now the scheme for creation of expansion of food processing facilities is very important because new modernization should happen. Expansion of existing units should also cover under the scheme. Okay, and that is why there is a joint venture going between the public sector units, between the farmers producers organization, then we have joint sectors with the NGOs, cooperatives, self-help groups, and even private limited companies have also come forward. Okay, so in the proposals, now there are some proposals under the scheme and they are invited through the expression of interest, that is EOI. So expression of interest, whoever is interested, they have to come under the EOI and project management agencies. So there are some project management agencies who will guide you and they are engaged by the MOFPI, as I already said before. Talking about the agro processing clusters. Okay, so we have forward and backward linkages also here, and each clusters have basically two basic components. Okay, so first is to see that there is an infrastructure like roads, water supply, power supply, drainage, and the common facility should be there like warehouses and all. So at least 5 processing units with a minimum investment of rupees 25 crores should be there, and the units are set up as simultaneously with the creation of common infrastructure. Now who is looking after this? The project execution agency is looking after this, and it also undertakes various activities including the formulation of a detailed project report, that is called as DPR. Okay, now also as I said, there is a scheme for creation of backward and forward linkages also. So the scheme is applicable to perishable horticulture and non-horticulture produce such as fruits, vegetable, dairy products, meat, poultry, fish, ready to cook food products, honey, coconut, spices, mushroom, retail shops for perishable fruit products, etc. They all come under the scheme, and the scheme would enable the linking of farmers to processors and the market for ensuring remunerative prices for agri produce. Okay. Now coming to the next one, that as I said was food safety and quality assurance infrastructure. Okay, so now this has become a must. Okay, and here the entire TQM is taken care of, that is total quality management. Okay, and apart from this, there is an interest of consumer safety and public health. Okay, so keeping in view, there is a setting up and upgradation of quality control, then food testing laboratories, then we have ISO standards, we have food safety standards, and then we also have quality management system. Coming to the last one, as I said also, that this is national mission and it is support to help the self-help groups, and develop the skill development should happen here. And also, you should see that infrastructure. So it's a this national mission of food processing has all, it's included everything, so everything it is there. So it is also there to provide better support system to organize food processing industry. So this is very, very important. Okay, so that is why, as I said also, that these are the various schemes which India has started under the food processing industry. Okay guys, so I'll see you in the next class, and we will discuss some questions regarding this, and we will follow with the next chapter. Thank you so much.